In other news, violence is escalating in eastern Ukraine as Germany's Chancellor Merkel holds talks in Kiev on easing tensions between Ukraine and Russia. And for more on that, CCTV's Kate Parkinson filed this report from Donetsk.
There has been heavy shelling in Donetsk today. This, of course, is one of the rebels' last remaining strongholds. The shelling mainly on the outskirts of the city, but certainly explosions could be heard here in the city centre as well. At least 5 civilians have been killed in the fighting here today. 2 civilians killed early this morning when a shell landed in a residential area. And again this afternoon, 3 civilians killed when again an artillery shell landed and hit an apartment block. This is a conflict being fought with heavy artillery. It lands indiscriminately, and unfortunately civilians are being caught in the crossfire. Now, this escalation of violence happened as the German Chancellor Angela Merkel arrived in Kiev for talks with Ukraine's President Petro Poroshenko. Those talks are prelude to next week's meeting in Minsk, where Poroshenko will hold talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And there's certainly hope, certainly among European diplomats, that that meeting could lead to a ceasefire agreement. They're certainly describing it as the best chance they've had in months of brokering a peace deal here in eastern Ukraine and ending the violence in this part of the country. But there is definitely a lot of work to be done. Merkel said that tightening the Ukrainian-Russian border would be key to negotiating a peace deal. She said a plan is on the table, but now there needs to be action from both sides. But she did express optimism, saying she does hope the talks with Russia can lead to a lasting peace deal. But really here in the east of the country, where we're seeing this fighting happening every day and civilians losing their life in this conflict between Ukraine's forces and the pro-Russian rebels, it's very difficult to imagine how a ceasefire is going to be achieved. Kate Parkinson, CCTV, Donetsk, in eastern Ukraine.